Sure, yeah. Thank you guys for being here and, obviously supporting our program and seeing what we're doing. But, yeah, just wanted to kind of start talking about where we're at as a team. I mean, I guess the best way to kind of put this is we have a veteran-heavy group right now. So we had a tremendous spring within our team, and I know it's not the fall season. The fall is obviously the championship season, the most important time of the year for us. But we grew so much in the spring and capped it off with a trophy. And I know that's again spring, but the way we competed in a mini tournament, if you will. And there were 8 teams. 6 teams had previously made the NCAA tournament the following year, and it wasn't we were just good in the spring or won. We were really good. We were really good, and we return a lot of guys. We didn't bring in too many. We have 2 incoming freshmen, and then we had 2 transfers join us, so 4 total. And they've been tremendous so far and really good additions to the group. So just overall, we're very excited to start the season.
John, I guess how much motivation was it for this group heading into the season after getting to the tournament and I guess having some success? Has that, I guess that hunger and that motivation grew even more with this group?
I'm going to be honest with you. The sour taste that we have in our mouth for the past couple of years is there. The standards of our program is to be pushing for Sweet 16s, Elite 8s, Final Fours. So we've made the tournament. I think that's where we're hungry. We're hungry. So yeah, we've made it. It's been nice, but it's not good enough.
Can you just kind of talk about, you said some veterans, you've got one there next to you. Just talk about what it's like to have Ryan back and the leadership, and not only that, but the experience.
Yeah, I mean, we went through the team. We had a voting selection of our captains. I think it's very important to give the players a voice in terms of that. And sure enough, Ryan was voted captain. He and Josh Jones were voted our captains for the upcoming fall. The reality of it, and I don't mind saying this in front of Ryan, is as we did the selection process, there was a lot of guys that actually had votes. So it was a tough one. It was tough to say, okay, who's actually going to be our leaders within this? And I think that's a good thing. I think it's a very good thing because the more people that are taking care of what's going on a daily basis, understand the standards, expectations, I think that bodes well for success.
Ryan, I wonder if you could give us some insight into the mentality of a goalie and how you remain focused when the ball is on the other end of the field, and does your mind wander?
I think I'd be a bit unrealistic to say like for 90 minutes, fully locked in. But there's little tricks you pick up along the way. Like for me, if you guys ever come out to the game, you'll probably hear me shouting all the time. Like that for me helps me stay engaged. Whether if we have a corner kick, like making someone's in the right position. If we lose it transitionally, like things like that help me stay engaged. Just little tricks I picked up along the way. So it's important for a goalkeeper because you see the whole field. So I think that's one way for me.
We talk about communications back to front. He's the deepest. Mm-hmm. He sees everything, like he's saying.
Yeah, kind of bouncing off of that, what is it like having a guy who's a senior in there and maybe being a different angle of eyes for you as a coach?
Sure. Captains are an extension of the coaching staff, so to have somebody in the deeper layers, like I just said, from that perspective to see everything we're trying to do and help organize that on the field. We talk about, I say this a lot with these guys, is I can't play. I'm on the sideline. Right? I can't cross over and play. So the more guys that understand what's going on, the better that we'll be. And sure enough, obviously, he's the deepest line, so he knows and sees everything.
Ryan, for you, sorry, Jody. How much do you you got the next one, I promise. How much do you take on just that responsibility of being a captain on a group that, as your coach said, is very motivated to do more than just try to get to an NCAA tournament and try to win big?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think first it was obviously an honor to be voted captain from our group. Obviously, we had 3 guys who were captains last year coming back. Me and Josh were voted this year, so it is a very leader-heavy group, which is a good thing. I was very glad to be picked, but I think honestly, like the way our group works is it's not just me, it's everyone, and we're kind of leading from the front. Whether you're playing 90 minutes, whether you're playing 0, everyone's got a role, and everyone kind of pitches into that. And as you guys said earlier, we kind of have a sour taste in our mouth from the last few years. So I think that is pushing us, and I think, that's kind of what's motivating us this year.
Ryan, you've been through a lot of games and a lot of experience through your career. Just talk about how that helps in this season, the past experience.
I definitely think, I started at Bowling Green, spent 3 years at Kentucky, and now I'm here. Like every step in my journey, I've matured as a player and as a person, and I think I've seen a lot of different experiences, worked with a lot of different coaches, different players, different cultures, learning different things from everyone. And I think for me, it really helps in terms of how to manage different people. And sometimes, you're not always going to get through to someone. So maybe it's using someone else to get through to someone and kind of doing whatever it takes to make sure the guys are all on the same page and headed in the right direction.
Coach, how competitive can the ACC and maybe even just your conference be this season, knowing that you guys were an NCAA tournament team, you have the reigning national champions in your own division?
Yeah, I'll say this. I joked with the former head coach Ken Lola and myself. We'd always say it was actually harder to win the ACC than sometimes to win the national championship. So it's competitive. There's no question about it. You see how many teams come out of the ACC that make the NCAA tournament, and you see how many teams actually go far in the NCAA tournament from the ACC. I mean, it's a grueling schedule, but I would have it no other way, quite honestly, because I think it prepares you for the tournament if you're doing it right.
John Michael, you mentioned a handful of newcomers. Some of those that we might see out there. Some guys that are going to be in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you can add guys to an already talented group, and instantly we've started to see throughout this preseason guys that showcase themselves that they should be pushing for minutes from day one. Yeah, no question about it. They're right there.
Coach, for those of us who are old enough to remember Pele playing for the Cosmos, what impact do you think Messi's playing in America will have at this point, and how much has soccer progressed in the States since then?
Great question. Great question. I think it's unbelievable for the sport here in America. I mean, I played in the league MLS when Beckham came, and the impact that had. I remember the first game I was in Hawaii. We played in the Pan-Pacific tournament, and the Galaxy were not supposed to be there. It was supposed to be the champions of MLS, and somehow the Galaxy played in it, right, because they had Beckham. And so the atmosphere at those games in Hawaii, then throughout the year, Beckham had. It's taking off right now. You see all the games he's playing. And all the crowd, the crowd support, the ticket sales have gone up. I mean, I look at it this way. When I was playing, I was making pennies, right? And the reality is that now that players can make a living, a true living in it. And as Messi comes into this, that's going to just help grow the league. And salary caps and all that are going to increase. Everything's going to change. It's phenomenal for the growth of the sport.
Ryan, you have probably like a very you have a very interesting perspective on like the UK UVO game, having spent some time in Lexington, but also being from here. What is that like for you each year? I'm guessing back when you were in Lexington, it's probably a different feeling now than when you were suiting up for this team last year. And then what's that going to be like this year, coming back for one more game and trying to get back on the winning side of the rivalry?
Yeah, I think definitely. I grew up a Louisville fan, so being from here, I grew up. I used to go to games at Card Park when Coach Lola was coaching, so I grew up on that stuff. At the time when I was transferring, I was actually speaking to the goalkeeper coach here at Louisville and then at Kentucky, and things kind of worked out at Kentucky. It was just a better situation in terms of career. When I'm there, of course, it's you want to win whatever game you're playing, and it doesn't matter who it is. So obviously, coming back here, playing Kentucky in a few weeks, so I want to beat them as much as I can, and I grew up a Louisville fan, so there's a little bit of pride and passion behind it. So.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys.